murder. Yeah, yeah. Coming up next on Mental Health Matters with Marty. Yes, we're going back to COVID schooling featuring none other than Thomas Davis. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's me. It's your boy. It's Martinez Sellers coming to you live and in living color all the way from Southern California, where the sun is not only always shining, baby, let me tell you, it's hot out here. Yes, it is. It's hot out here. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, I'm just happy we're not in the triple digits today. But anyway, listen, welcome to the Mental Health Matters with Marty show. We are so glad you are here. Hope you are doing well. And if I can say this, it's the most wonderful time of the year. What's up, Dwayne? How you feeling now? Why is it the most wonderful time? Not that it's Christmas. Kids are going back to school. Come on, hallelujah. Come on, put them hands together. What's up, my man? What's going on, Ladon? What's happening, man? How you doing? How you doing? Alana, how are you, darling? Good to see you in this wonderful virtual world. Hope everyone is doing well. Listen, we got a great show out for you today. We want you to invite some friends. But as always, Mental Health Matters with Marty show is a show that is designed to be an educational tool to your mental health and wellness. We are not a substitute. Again, we are not, capital N, capital O, capital T, bold, 50 font, underline, italicized. We are not a substitute for your mental health journey, but we are a supplement to help you along the way. So if you're experiencing any type of mental health crisis, please dial 911 or go to your nearest urgent care to see about your needs. Why? Because you matter. We got to speak up, speak out, and live. Yes, we do. Again, how do you engage with us? In order to engage with us, please, as we're on this new wonderful platform, we want you to engage with us through the Mental Health Matters with Marty page or on Marcel Media Group on YouTube. Again, please engage with us on the Mental Health Matters with Marty page or through the YouTube page on Marcel Media Group. And please, if you have not made that switch, please do it now. That's how we read and see your comments. Some of y'all have been calling me, talking about, you ignoring me? No, we are not ignoring you. With this platform, our comments and the feedback comes through those two specific pages. And we want to hear you. We want you to be engaged. So please be engaged with us, again, by contacting us through the Mental Health Matters with Marty Facebook page or Marcel Media Group on YouTube. Hope everyone is doing well. Tomorrow, yes, do not judge me. My 5-year-old starts kindergarten tomorrow. I am so excited. We got uniforms pressed. We got skirts pressed. But again, is school safe for our students? What do we do in the midst of this back to school COVID concerns? We are back in full force. We're back in person. Our prayer is that we don't go back to virtual, because virtual had so many ramifications. Yes, we were trying to be safe and stay at home, but we also know that staying at home and homeschool learning and Zoom learning had some complications with that as well. So, in the midst of everything that's going on, kids going back to school, what is going on? We want to be here to be a support to you in how to talk through this, how to make the most wise and educated decision for you and your family. Let me say that again. We are here to support you in the decision that you're making for you and your family. Now, me personally, I am vaccinated. That is a decision that I made, me being this mental health profession, and we're slowly coming back to in person and a hybrid model of therapy. I wanted to make sure that, one, that I'm safe for myself. My 75-year-old mother lives with me, so I want to be safe for her. My 5-year-old daughter lives with me, so I want to be safe for her. And my 23-year-old son, who will be getting his own place. Come on, thank you, Jesus. He's getting his own place, but that's a whole nother show, and I need to talk to my therapist about that as well. But he also lives with me, and I have to make decisions based upon the safety, health, and wellness of my family, especially as my 5-year-old is starting full day kindergarten. Come on, somebody, starting tomorrow. And what are we doing? She has her mask. We're going to bling out her shield so that she is safe. And we're putting hand sanitizer in her backpack. Now, this is what we have decided for my household and how we're going to deal with her. We've actually made it a fun exercise, so that she knows. We started doing it a long time ago. Let's put on our mask. It's for our safety. We're protecting you as we are expecting others to protect us as well. And that's what we want to talk about. How do we send our kids, for those who are deciding to send your children back to in-person learning, how do we make them safe? How do we help calm the anxiety, their frustrations, maybe their depression? And how do we get along, and how do we make the decisions that are wise for our children? And how do we have an open dialogue with the schools themselves as well? So we can talk about, what is the school policy? What happens when this occurs? What is your policy about contact tracing, and so forth? But I'm so glad that we have none other than the Dean of Students himself, all the way from the DMV. We're so glad to have him. Listen, we did this whole COVID schooling. Thomas, we may have to come back and do this all over again, but coming to us live from that other state and city, none other than Thomas Turkey Legs Davis himself. What's up, Thomas?
What's going on, my brother? How are you?
I am fine, my brother. How are you?
I'm gonna be nice tonight. It is so. I'm so glad to see you. But before I be all good, can I
Yeah,
say this? Do
please.
you know what this month is? It's our
It's
1 year
our
anniversary.
1 year anniversary that we've been doing this, man. Come on, somebody. Man, I can't thank you enough for all the wisdom, the knowledge. You've sharpened me, because iron sharpens iron. And man, I just appreciate you. Love you, man, with a godly love and brotherly love, man,
Yes,
of how
yes,
you've been
yes.
there and how we've been able to even share with each other and bring that. Yes, starting already. Come on. Come, Miss Edwards, you know how we do. You know how we roll. It would not be a Marty and Thomas show if we didn't start. Have this good banter with that. He knows I got nothing but love for him, even though he's wearing a Dallas Cowboy hat. Why? Why? This is. Hmm.
My shirt says "Prove yourself right." So
I
I
am
want you to be
always
right
right.
tonight. I want you to be right
I
tonight.
always stand on the side of righteousness. Come on, touch your neighbor
Right,
and say
right, right, right,
righteousness.
right. Hey, hallelujah.
Yeah.
No, all jokes
Yes.
aside though, Marty, like I was just thinking when the Facebook memory came
Hmm.
up, I was like,
Right.
wow, a year ago we were really at home in the house,
Yes.
stuck in
We
the
were.
house. And I'm just like, wow, a year later, the pandemic is still here, but things are
Yes, it
still
is.
looking up. And that's something that I want all educators to know. We
That's
are
right.
still looking up. We should still be
Yes.
excited about our
Yes.
future because it could be worse.
It could be
But as
because a year
always,
ago,
thank you.
what? But a year
Thank
ago,
you.
Thomas, I was recovering from COVID because I had
Right.
in July of last year, and we're kind of still coming out of it. Still got this lingering cough that
Right.
seems to stay with you forever. And I know that's when they were talking about the vaccinations and what that's like.
Hmm.
So just it's a blessing to be on
Right.
this side of the pandemic, but we
Right.
still have to have caution. We still have to make wise decisions, and we have
Right.
to make those decisions for our children who cannot make
Right.
those decisions for themselves. Here's my problem, Thomas.
Uh-oh.
Vaccinations
What's your
have been
problem?
always vaccinations have always been a part of the educational process.
Right.
That long
Right.
yellow vaccination quadrifold
Right.
card that you just like
Right.
and had all your vaccinations right there.
Right.
So
Right.
it's been always a part of it because if not, smallpox would be out of control. If not,
Right.
chickenpox would be out of control. So many other
The mumps.
polio, some the
Right.
mumps, right, all these other things, and so we have also politicized. Glad you're better. Hey, man, I'm glad I'm better too. And we look at it and how we have
Right.
politicized and made sickness and made this COVID a political issue as opposed to a health issue where it really belongs. And so we've now politicized education. We've
Right.
politicized work. We've politicized everything instead of making it where it truly is. Now, these opinions are the opinions of Marty and Marty only. There could
Right.
be different opinions about that. So, Thomas, talk to us about school started for you guys this week. Am I correct?
Actually, yes. So this week we have welcomed our freshmen and our
Okay.
sophomores into our buildings. We are excited about our students being back into the
Right.
building. One of the things
Right.
that I can tell you that has been a pleasure and an honor to see, bro. And the
Uh huh.
students are coming into these buildings humble.
Right.
They are coming
Right.
into our school buildings excited to see each other. They are
Right.
coming into the school buildings with their mask on. And so
Yes. Oh, that's good.
what you just said was very key. We need to stop making everything a political game
Yes.
because I
Yes.
believe, and I am not the one, Thomas Davis, LPC is not the one that is trying to impose that
Right.
everybody should get vaccinated because that is your personal choice. But
It
what I'm
is.
also saying is if you could take a vaccine that could cause you to live longer, do it. But
Especially if
again,
nothing
that's
else.
just my
Yeah.
personal right. That's just my personal opinion. I am fully vaccinated.
Right.
I have
Right.
asthma, and I want to live here to banter with you some more years.
Listen, I got high blood pressure, so I need to get that under control. But
Right,
but
right, right,
you
right,
know, and again, I did it not just for myself. I personally
right,
did it because of my mother, who has
right,
high blood pressure. She's a diabetic. She has,
right,
arthritis and so many other things. And so I don't want to put her at risk of me
right,
passing
right.
something on to her. I don't want to be
Correct.
responsible for someone else's sickness and or death in that regards. Listen, I got enough to account for, and that's one less thing I got to be accountable for. But you said all the kids, and I think our stop it. But all the kids, they are excited. Kids are excited to go back to school. I have a couple of my patients that I finally got to see in person after a year and a half of that. Miss Jazzy, how are you? Listen, do we have the best person in Jazzy with that?
Listen, Project Smith Designs has been
Come
a
on.
wonderful asset to limitless possibilities.
And
She
mental
is
health
doing a
management. Marty?
fantastic job. If someone is wild for us tonight, if you are looking for a great branding person, you need to hit up Project Smith Designs. They will get you right.
Yes. Come on,
That's that
she
shameless
gets us all
plug.
right. Yes, yes, I understand. I understand. But we got to learn to celebrate each other more. Yes, see, even Jazzy says her boys are excited about going back to school
Right,
and what that
right,
looks like because our kids are part of the educational process. Is just not about them learning, but it's all
right,
about the
right.
socialization with that as well. And so we saw a lot of depression. Talk to us, Thomas. Talk to me. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. There was a few students, and I want to be
Mm-hmm.
private about the
Sure.
conversations. But what I will say to you is this: students are excited to get out of their environment.
Yes.
Students are excited to leave home because there were
Mm-hmm.
instances where students had to fend for themselves. They had to
Right.
be in toxic environments. They had to
Right.
take care of people that they didn't want to take care of. And most importantly, they was not allowed to be a child. They had
Right.
to assume roles of adults. And so when you see the bright faces come in the morning and they are excited to see you, they are saying, "Good morning, Mr. Davis." "Oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
good morning. How you doing? I love your shoes. I
Mm-hmm.
love your shirt." Because we have to affirm them even in their anxiety about being in the building because of the pandemic, because of these variants. We got to make it normal. And I think that's
Right.
one thing that we as the adults have to stop doing, is making things
Yes.
that we can't control not normal. Let's
Yes.
let's just normalize it. It's okay.
Yes, yes, I love it. This is my aunt Caressa. Hello, auntie says hello. Everyone, go get the shot. Taylor, her granddaughter, gets her second one on Thursday, and she's 12 years old. And I'm glad we did it.
That's
thank you for
awesome.
sharing that. With we're doing it because we want to protect our families and our loved ones. Now, again, your
Right,
choice. If you don't want to, that again,
right,
we're not trying to impose our values on you.
right.
However, for those, let's go there. For those who don't want to get the shot in a public school setting, in a school setting, what are you suggesting to the parents? How do we go about to make sure that they are protected? What are your recommendations as a professional in the academia and a professional for mental health as well?
So one thing that I will always say, I am not a doctor at all, but what I
Mm-hmm.
will say to the listening audience is consult with your medical doctor. Talk to
Definitely.
your medical doctor about your anxieties, your resistance. If I'm honest,
Mm-hmm.
I heard a lot of people say, "Why am I going to take a shot that's not FDA approved?" Understand it, get it. Talk to your doctor and just see what your doctor advised you to do. But from a mental health standpoint, I just want to encourage everyone with everything that we are seeing, the cases of our youth, the
Mm-hmm.
cases that are going up, they are back through the roof. We got to make a
Right.
decision. Do we want to live? That's
Yeah.
just that's just an honest question. You know, something's
Yes.
always going to happen, right? Variants going to always come. This is not the first time we have been through this, if we're honest. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
educate ourselves. So it's all about the psycho education. It's always educating parents, educating teachers, educating ourselves.
Yes.
What do I need to do that's going to make me feel comfortable? And for
Yes.
those who are on the fence about getting the vaccine, the first thing that I would say is, again, consult with your doctor, your medical
Yes.
doctor, not what you see on Facebook or Instagram or the DSL, a medical certified licensed doctor about what it is that you are fearing. Because you know what? A lot of people are
Yes.
not doing it because people are erroneously going on social media saying something has happened to them, or, something happened to me when I got the vaccine, and they're just trying to deter us.
Right. But you know what you're saying, I love it because Jasmine made a wonderful point about, a lot of our information is misinformation and a lot of our fear is
Right,
rooted in misinformation. Greed says so much of the death we're seeing and hearing about is avoidable.
right,
You're absolutely right,
right.
Dante, with that. And I love even Grace's concern that she had up here. Consult your doctor. Love it. Thank you, Portia Scott. Hello,
Hey,
darling. How are
Portia.
you? Yes.
And
And
you know what,
Grace
Marty?
was saying, Mhm. No, I said real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Grace was saying
Go ahead.
she has concerns because working with kids K through 6, they're
Right,
unvaccinated. Says I'm concerned for their safety. They are not vaccinated. Grace, I totally agree with you. There are some things, and I think that we have a responsibility as the quote unquote parents to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect our children. Now, again, that's just Marty, but consult with your doctor. Sit down. Can we say this? Sit down and make a plan with your children and talk to your children about it.
right,
I'm
right,
about to bling out Tony's face mask and face
right,
shield.
right,
So he's like, hey, look,
right,
well, make it an accessory, make it fun.
right. Right. And you know the thing, let's get maxed out. You know, like we wear
Yes.
masks for Halloween, we wear masks
Uh,
for masquerade parties.
uh,
So why can't we wear a mask and go to school and go to work? So
so
I think we
school is a
pick and
party now.
choose.
Come on.
Hey, let's make it a party to where we
Hey,
are safe
hey.
and get it
Yeah.
educated. Because being
Yes, yes.
home virtually is not good, especially for our special education students. They need to be
That
in the
part.
building. They need to be in the seats. They need to
Yes.
have that one-to-one interaction. So why not make it a
Yes.
mass party? One thing
Right.
that
I
I
like
must shout
that.
out, yeah, I must shout out my school district. We make sure that every classroom has PPE. We make sure that we have shields in the cafeterias where when they
Mm-hmm.
are sitting down and they take their
Mm-hmm.
mask off to eat, that if they are talking, it's going to be blocked by a shield.
Come on,
Sanitizer,
Shields.
face mask, gloves. So to my educators and my school leaders, let's not buy so much swag and let's invest in PPE
Ooh,
so we can stay into the school.
ooh, ooh. Was that a read?
You wanted me. You wanted me. I'm back.
Listen, y'all know how Thomas does it. You know, you wanted me. He's back. Hey, you wanted him, and he's back.
Hey.
Hey, hey. Ain't nothing but a
Love
party
you.
up in here. But no, but I love it. We have to
Right.
learn to take these challenging times. That's what I heard you
Right.
say was we take the challenging times and we don't allow them to cripple us, but we
Right.
propel it to move forward, and we make it fun. We make it
Right.
so there's safety in it, and we do that. I know at the private school my daughter's going to, they have waivers that they want
Mhm.
but in order for them not to, they have to sign a waiver, say, I do not want my child to wear a mask. I've had people ask me, can you give me a waiver for that? I said, one, I'm not a medical doctor, and I don't see an impeding mental health challenge with
Right.
that it would impair their decision-making
Right.
problem, their anxiety. Is it more of yours or is it theirs? Because I don't see
Right.
anything with them.
Right.
Well, they've
Right.
never
Right.
done it before. Yes, yes. Come on, Kojic voice. Right, right. So I love what your school is doing. What are some other things, Thomas, that parents? I love that you said first consult your doctor. Make sure. I
Mhm.
mentioned have a family meeting that you guys discuss it so we can talk about the anxiety, talk about the frustration, talk about our fears. Because trust me, I'm equally as fearful. Go ahead.
Right. So one of the things that I'm glad that we were able to do is do a virtual preview of what the school looks like, right?
Okay.
So if we know that we don't want to have, because we do have to be mindful of who we allow in our buildings, because we don't know who is vaccinated and who may be asymptomatic or what have you. But what we was
Right.
able to do is to use technology. Let's take a
Yes.
video of how we are protecting our schools. Let's do a video of how our scholars are going to walk into the building.
That's
Let's
good.
take a video and send it to parents. Let's do Zoom nights to where we have
Okay.
open town hall conversations so
Nice.
parents can share why they are concerned, because there are some students who may do better virtually because of health
Mhm.
issues. I understand that. But those are smaller number individuals, and if it means that they need to learn virtually, that's what it is. But I'm
Right.
encouraging all school districts to take part of making sure that we are encouraging our families that things are okay. Because if we honest, Marty,
Yes.
you are a parent. The last thing
Mhm.
that you want to do is to get a phone call saying, "Can you come to the school or come to the hospital?" So what can we
Right.
do as educators? We have
That's
to make
nice.
it we got to take the stigma out, right? We got to take
Yes.
out the anxiety as much as possible. And some of the
Yes.
things that we got to do is stop being closed doors, but open our doors. Open
Mhm.
up and make sure that the parents know what are the steps being taken to ensure the safety to the best of our abilities, and being transparent, being honest, being open, being able to say this may not work, right? But being able
Mhm.
to admit that and try something different.
hmm Well, I know that one of our at the school we're at, the attendance and HR, they all went to DC for some training and
Mm-hmm.
contact tracing and all of that. So we do have a
Mm-hmm.
plan. So we wanted to know, what is the plan? If a child gets exposed, what is the plan? If the teacher gets exposed, what is the plan? If
Right.
multiple children get exposed, and
Right.
if we have to go back to virtual learning, what is the plan and how do we get the information and all that?
Right.
And they were
Right.
very, very clear till
Right.
we walked away feeling extremely comfortable in this learning
Right.
environment. I love this. Says people need to understand that even if vaccinated and you get COVID, the severity may not be as great as without being vaccinated. That is so
That's
true.
true. That's true.
My
That's
concern,
true.
you and I were talking about this today. Across the nation right now, there are 94,000 children who have COVID who are hospitalized. 94,000. That's 94 comma 000. And that was as of I believe this morning when I heard it on Good Morning America and seeing some of the other,
Right.
but that is just 94,000 too many on something that possibly could be avoidable if we would just take some precautions. My heart goes out to those parents because
Right.
me being
Right.
a parent, there's nothing worse than watching your child suffer and go through something, and you're just
Right.
almost you're begging God,
Right.
just let it
Right.
be me and not them.
Right.
I'm
Right.
strong
I
enough to
agree.
handle it. Yeah.
I agree,
And
Marty.
so
And
we
one
have
of
to
the
be
things that we gotta
cautious.
right. And one of the things that we gotta understand is that that number needs to be plastered everywhere. So
Yes.
because we are
Yes.
a visual people, right?
We
If we
are.
see this number, we need to understand like what can we do to keep our kids safe?
Hmm.
Like,
Yes.
my heart, I agree with you. Florida right now,
Lord help us.
I
That's
saw
all. That's all I
something
can say.
on I saw something on Instagram that says that there is a state in the South that is not even worried about if you vaccinated, if you wear a mask, or if you don't. What does
Hmm.
that teach our people? What does that teach us about other things in life? We have to be accountable for ourselves. We have to be accountable for those that are connected with us, and we got to be accountable for who we are surrounded around. That's not
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, I'm going to applaud Texas. Even that there were, I would believe it was Houston School District, and there was one other school district that made it mandatory for masks. And they said, listen, we are not going to adhere with the recommendation of the governor, but we're going to go by the
Mm,
CDC. With that, and I love that. I much rather us err, and parents, this is what we're saying. We much rather you
right.
err on the side of caution than
Caution.
regret. We much again, let me say it, we much rather you err on the side of caution than regret.
Right.
Because once that regret happens, we don't know the long-term effects
Right.
that could
Right.
happen. And again, I much rather us err on the side of caution as opposed to regret.
I
So
agree.
in that, what are some of the things maybe that I love that Dante says, it's really sad that we have to beg people to be safe. Dante, I hear you.
Dante, I'm gonna tell you something that burns my soul. Now I may lose some viewers after this, but this is not. Do not throw this on mental health with martyrs. You can come to limitless possibilities on this one. What burns my soul is that we have to pay you to live. They are giving away gift
Wow.
cards, scholarships, all of this stuff to get you to go
Wow.
get vaccinated.
Wow.
Why
I never
can't
thought
we
of it from that perspective.
why can't we love ourselves enough to say, hey, I'm gonna go and make sure that I live without somebody giving me a gift card to live?
Mm.
That bothers me. I'm not gonna lie, that bothers me because that lets me know we do what we want to do when we are prompted to do it.
And can I say this? Too many of us, we trust the street pharmacologist more than we trust the doctor on pharmacology. Now, how you gonna
Hello.
trust the street pharmacologist? You don't know where he got that weed. You don't know where he got that speed. You don't know where he got that meth or anything else. We trust that. It could have been in a dirty hotel, in a dirty
Yes.
gas station
Yes.
garage. We will shoot up with some of those things. We will shoot up. I was going to say we will go get the local prostitute, but anyway,
Oh,
but
well.
I'm saying there are so many other things we will put ourselves at risk, but not take a risk at saving our lives. I'm sorry, that's just Marty. I'm on one today. It's been a
Listen,
long day.
Marty, I'm with you. Like when I saw that all over the news, we are giving somebody a scholarship
Right,
to get a
right.
vaccine when you got kids who are in school now doing exactly what they're supposed to do and vaccinated,
Right.
and they fighting to pay their tuition bill.
Right. We will do a pass and
I'm
puff
sorry.
over the person that's done and all of this and be like,
Right.
come on.
Right.
Come on. But we won't
And don't be worried about no COVID. Don't worry about ain't worried about none of that. None of that. Martin, we should have got together tonight on this topic, brother. Because I'm with you. Show over.
Look, okay, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next
week.
Right. Goodbye and good night.
Right.
But real talk. We got to do better, and the purpose of what we're trying to do is just to inform you, give you what we know, and how to move past that. Let's talk about some of the I don't want to call it traumas, but it really was that. Some of the traumas that you have seen over the summer and what you anticipate to happen this coming school year as well. Real quick with Jerron. What's up, my brother? Says they gave away millions of dollars in credit cards, tickets to sports event out here in Cali. I know they did, man. They really did. Yeah. What are you seeing in your practice when it comes to specifically school age, and I'm even going to say college age, who are going into college, that transition, as well as we're talking about mental health now, and what can parents need to look for?
So the main thing that I can honestly tell you that I have seen a uptick in is anxiety, right? Mm-hmm. Not knowing what's going to happen. How do I reintegrate back into a college setting? How do I go into a college dorm and be with somebody that I don't even know where they've been, how they've traveled? Even when it comes to our school-age children, if we're honest, they have experienced and witnessed so much loss. To some of them are just nervous to even be around anyone.
Right.
I mean, I saw a student earlier today walk in the building, walk through the front door, and was spraying Lysol. I looked at that young lady and said, I ain't mad at you, sweetheart. Do what you got to do. Let's have a great day. So all of those post-traumatic stress disorders, all of those things, like they walked through his spray. I'm like, I ain't mad at you, baby. Welcome to school. Let's have a great day, because I could have went to a whole different level, but you got to make their sense of anxiety normal. Like that.
That's good. That's good.
A rigid, fixed person, a fixed mindset would be like, oh, why are you doing that? But you got to sometimes allow people to be who they are. If that makes you comfortable, then you do it. Just don't spray the whole bottle in one spot. That's all I'm saying. I don't want no contact.
Right, because what happens is you can't listen. Lysol is a hot commodity right now. It's almost $10 a can. Listen, baby, don't waste the whole. Just do a little spray in your area.
She was just spraying. I said, baby, I ain't even mad at you. But all jokes aside, and what I want actually is modeling how we can take an uncomfortable situation that we can't control and find the humor in it. Find the humor in this, educators. When someone calls, don't say, do you have COVID? Because you never know if that person have experienced someone who has lost their lives or lost a parent through COVID. When someone is sneezing or if they sweating, don't go and say those things, because what's jokeful for you is hurtful for someone else.
Painful for
someone else. Have experienced, we have experienced all of that. A lot of people are scared to cough and they sit in the room sweating and like, what's wrong with you? I want to sneeze, but I don't want nobody to think nothing. Like we gotta stop doing that.
And we still have allergy season and those type of things that happen as well. That's very common.
Right.
Thomas, what I want to do, because I still feel that we have to help us understand what anxiety may look like for students. Let's for what are some of the symptomologies, and what are some things that we can look at when we're talking about anxiety, especially for and anxiety looks different in an elementary school age kid versus a middle school and high school kid as well. So on an elementary school age kid, what might anxiety look like in them?
So anxiety can look like this. I can walk into a classroom and I see a whole lot of students around me, and I begin to walk back. I begin to isolate myself. I begin to have sweaty palms. I may have rapid eye movement. I may not want to talk. I may go into silence, or I may begin to act out, because a lot of anxiety is built on a stimulus, right?
Yes.
Something is stimulating me. There is a stimulating event that is causing my body to respond a certain way. And so I may not feel comfortable with being in this classroom. So let me do something wild so I can get out of that anxiety provoking environment. And so those are the things that we as leaders of the school need to educate our staff on. And I'm glad that we are able to do that with where we at. We got to stop always saying that the behavior is defiance and get to the why.
Because
sometimes we don't take off. Right. That's the trigger. So in elementary students, I may not want to drink the milk because I don't know where the straw came from. I don't know who has touched it. But we got to allow our students to express themselves. Yeah. And we got to listen.
Yes, that's that part. And what we're encouraging you to, if you see a change in behavior, a drastic change in behavior that is now just 1 day, 2 days, but you're like, wait a minute, this is going on for a week. This is going on for 2 weeks. You need to raise an eyebrow, which pay attention to your loved ones. Ask them questions. It could be, my stomach hurts. Could be anxiety. I have butterflies. Could be I feel nauseous. Anxiety. Says address the emotion. Address the emotion before the behavior address, and you address the behavior before the behavior addresses you. You're absolutely right, Alana. So we're looking at the behaviors. We're looking at what is, and that's why I think having during this time either a daily check-in. I highly recommend a daily check-in, a quiet time where we're turning off the television, where we're turning off the PlayStations, where we're turning off the cell phones and not looking at social media, where we can have a quiet time. Hey, Thomas, how was your day at school today? Did something occur, or how's it feel to be back? Is there anything different? What's different between before COVID, now that we're coming back in the midst of this? What's different for you? I was talking to one of my clients, and she was sharing, said, she missed half of her 7th grade year and all of her 8th grade year due to COVID, and she's about to start 9th grade. And she's like, I don't even know how to do that. How do I do that? Because middle school was definitely not what she anticipated. So she has fond memories of elementary.
Right. And it goes back to that socialization piece. Yes. They have lost what it means to socialize. They don't know how to socialize again. On top of feeling like I'm out the loop. Like what's going on, because not everyone at home has social media. So sometimes people have anxieties about that. And one thing, Marty, that you just hit this key, we got to know what we are addressing, because not everybody's anxiety is always about the pandemic. Anxieties can be like, I don't know what to do now because I've been in this role for so long. Now, what is it like being a student?
Yes.
So, but one thing that I do want to tell the educators, Marty, right quick, if we could just share this with our audience, whoever is watching that is education, who are in education, implement some body scan activities in your lessons. Before you start a lesson, when a child walks into your room, once they get to breakfast and you do your advisory or your check-in, let's do some meditation. Let's do some body scans. Let's do some breathing. We're going to breathe
Breathing
in. We're going to
exercises.
breathe out. We're
Yes.
going to close our eyes. Do some body scans. Do some meditational activities. Let's do a group project where we all just take a wipe and wipe the desk and play the song "Wipe Me Down." Like, make it energetic so we can normalize being in the classroom.
I love that.
We got to step outside of our box, right? We got to step outside of how we are educating our students and being comfortable.
I love that, because
shut up.
now we get to be creative. No. That's you are hilarious. Wipe me down. I love it, but I love it because we're taking what could be a traumatic experience, and that's something that's outside of our comfort zone. Yes, and flipping it. So now we're excited. Hey, what do we do? So let's sanitize. I brought some sanitizers. Love this. So that's wonderful ideas and suggestions. Jonathan, man, how you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate your support, man. Hope all is well. But yes, we do those, and we can transfer that and still do the same things at home. So now it's a part of their regular DNA and their regular routines that they're doing it at school, they're doing it at home, and all these other things. And that's what's going to help turn some things around, I believe, for our young people as they're going back to school. Can we talk about real quick again some what depression might look like also in our students? Because, you know, I always say that anxiety and depression, they kind of are like those wonder twins. They often hang out together. And so what does that? Yes, these give them some coping techniques. They can be extremely similar. Go right ahead. So depression.
When we look at depression, let's go to the high school arena. When we look at depression, with how they dress, how they respond to stimuli, like the eye contact. If I'm depressed, I don't want you to look at me, so I tend to hide my face because I don't want you to look at my eyes and visually see that I'm not happy, right? We also have where people have medical issues. People sleep all the time. They are lethargic. They withdraw themselves. They have low energy. They just don't want you to say nothing to them. Just let me be in my slump. Those are some surface level things that educators can see. They can just look at their body language. They can look at how they respond. They can look at how they don't respond. They can look at how they slump themselves down in the classroom.
Right.
I mean, all of these things are not defiance educators. These are things that we need to take time and ask them, are you okay?
Say that one more time. Hey, Paula, how are you? Welcome to the party.
Hey, Paula.
You said they're not. Say that thing one more time for the educators and for the parents too.
Yes, all of the behaviors that we are seeing is not always someone trying to be defiant. It's a way they don't know how to communicate that I am sad, that I lost my grandmother, my daddy, my auntie, my best friend. We don't know how to communicate that. But what we do is what we are used to, and that's the acting out.
Yes.
Right, we're going to come back for a whole cover. We got to come back for this because this is good right here.
It is, and I think we need to go. Yes, we have to come back and do this and get back on track because I think that our parents and our students need this type of support again. So we got to check our schedules, y'all. So Thomas and I are back.
One other thing I do want to do, because I have to be respectful and I have to pay homage to the educators, the leaders, the custodians, the COVID tech, everyone who are working in our schools, welcoming our kids back, welcoming our staff back. I personally salute you because it is not easy going into an environment of the unknown. So I do have to applaud all of the teachers, everybody that is touching kids, interacting with kids, interacting with staff. Thank you so much for being the battlefield with us. And I do want to say this, and I promise I'm going to shut up. Let's practice from today until school ends this one word, and it's called grace.
Yes. Say that again.
We got to be graceful. We got to understand
Yes.
that we're not going to get it right on the first time. We may not get it right
Yes.
on the second time, but we got to show each other grace, y'all. When we show each other grace, we are able to be understanding of someone else's disposition, anxieties, and say, I understand, versus
Yes.
going to the negative and judging and casting them out. Because if we
I
show each
love
other
that.
grace, the grace is going to show up in the classroom. The students are going
Yes.
to feel like that they got grace
Yes.
when they come
That's
in there and
right.
they don't have their mask down. But if they walk
Right.
into your room and their mask is right here, which is how our youth like to wear it, I don't know why, but they want to cover up their mouth but not the nose. Let's not get so negative. Just say, hey, come on, man. You all right?
Right.
Show
Right.
each other grace. And I'm
Love
done,
that.
Marty.
And that's no, but that's it's so imperative that we show grace, because depression looks different on our young men than it does. And I love what you said earlier, not accusing them of being oppositional. And that's where
Yes.
I want to stand on my mantra, on my soapbox on this point
Yes.
all the time. Our Black young men are 9 chances out of 10 not oppositional. They are depressed, because opposition, anger, irritation,
Right.
short tempers, all that is a part of that whole depressive cycle. And we need
Right.
to operate more on emotional intelligence as we're dealing with our young people. And Thomas, maybe that's something we need to come back and share with our parents and educators as well,
Right.
about emotional intelligence. And that's learning how to read their body language, learning how to read them so they can say, I'm red today, meaning I'm angry, frustrated, or I'm blue
Right.
today, I'm sad, and that, or I'm green, I'm happy, and everything's going
Right.
well. And what that
Right.
looks like, or yellow, like a little indifferent, but I'm okay.
Right.
And
Right.
how to really
Right.
translate that, because you're right, for especially for our introverted young men that are very introvert, or they're very quiet. And so we're pushing these buttons, and it could be a
Right.
whole lot. Can we celebrate that for our introverted kids, that they're coming back even with their nervousness, and really
Right.
celebrate that? Can we celebrate that our anxious kids are saying, okay, I'm here, I don't feel comfortable, but I'm making
Right.
that first step? We need to
Right.
celebrate these accomplishments of these young men. Because Thomas, I don't know, I'm 2-3 weeks younger than Jesus, but I don't know.
Just three.
Watch your mouth. Don't make me come through this and cut you. Color zones say color zones of regulation stick so well with the youth. You're absolutely right, Alana. One of our amazing Alana. We got to have you back on here with doing this as well.
Yes.
Yes, and really helping our students out, helping our teachers out, helping our parents out, and helping each other out in this journey, because it's okay to say, guess what? I'm not okay today. Now, we don't use
Right.
it as an excuse.
Right.
Let me say that. We don't use it as an excuse, but we use it to
Right.
help temper one another. We use it as a
Agreed.
regulatory measuring stick, so we can say, listen, I'm not doing well today. I'm here. I'm here in person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be here,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm struggling to stay here mentally. I'm
Mm-hmm.
struggling to even
Mm-hmm.
stay here physically, because I'm overwhelmed. Everything is triggering me. The stimuli is just too much for me, and I feel like going off. But I'm going to stay here and do. For some kids, it's a lot just to manage through the day. Dwayne says educators should use restorative practice. I love this, to re-engage students into the school setting as it relates to discipline, and have it correlate. That's right, with the SEL and other programs. You're absolute. Come on now, Dwayne. We got to have you come on here too. Come on, as we do all these things. These your peoples,
That's
huh?
it.
I love it.
That's a East Coast brother right there that's talking. Social emotional learning is key as
Yes,
we
yes,
reintegrate back into the school systems.
yes, yeah.
And I'm
You're
glad
absolutely right.
Dwayne brought that up.
Yeah, Dwayne, we're gonna have you on soon too, man. So stay tuned, because you're right. That is so imperative in what
Right.
we're doing, and as we're even monitoring our own homes. let's have that social emotional intelligent learning with that as well. So we're learning each other so we can have some debriefing at home. We as parents,
Right.
we as leaders, we as educators, and we as clinical therapists and in the mental health field, we have to go
Right.
the extra mile to secure that our children are safe, that they're not just physically safe, that they're emotionally safe as well. It has been a difficult year and a half, a difficult
Right.
18, 20 months for all of us.
Right.
But Thomas, can I
Right.
say this? We're still here.
We made it.
We made it.
Marty, I'm gonna tell you something. I say this
Woo!
a lot on my social media page. We have
Right,
another minute, another second, another
right,
day, and another opportunity to be better than the day before. And we
that's
have
right.
to understand where we were on March 15th, 2020
Right.
is not where we are now on August the 10th,
Yes. Yes.
2021. We had another
That's right.
year, we had another
Yes.
month, we had another
Yes.
opportunity to be better. And guess what we have? We have vaccines, we have masks,
Yes.
we have PPE,
Yes.
we have life,
Yes.
we have opportunities. All of us did
Yes.
not pass. So
Right.
we got to stop looking at the negative and everything and identify what are those small celebrations
Yes.
that we can to
Yes.
celebrate.
Yes, I love this. Meditation breaks in the school day to help transition and to help trauma improves focus. It is so cool. They've done a study with that all boys charter school. I believe it was in New York that
Yep.
incorporated meditation and yoga in their classroom for their elementary.
Yes.
And they said that after about the first couple weeks, the young men start looking forward to it.
Right. Right.
And
And
just
you
like,
know what?
mm-hmm.
It's
Go ahead.
called introducing them to something that they are not used to. But it
Yes.
starts with us as the adults.
Yes.
If we get
Yes.
excited about doing it and we practice it and we model it, the students would do the
Yes.
same thing.
They'll do the same. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to incorporate you as families. One of my favorite exercises, I'm going to just share this and we're going to be out your way, is I love the five senses. When my mind is racing, when my heart is up, when I feel extra nervous and everything, and I can't seem to settle myself, I use the five senses all the time, Thomas. What are the five senses? I first find what are five things that I see right now. I see Thomas and his face over here. I see my light, whatever. I see my lights. I see the computer. I
Right.
see my hand. So I name five things. Then what are four
Right.
things that I feel right now? I feel the
Right.
earpieces in my earbuds in my ears. I feel the shirt on my torso. I feel the watch on my wrist. I feel my feet in my shoes. What are three things that I hear? And then what are two things
Mm-hmm.
that I smell? And what is one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I taste? And that helps to bring all of that anxiety and nervousness to woosah.
Right.
And each time I take a deep breath. Each time.
Right.
Imagine if we did that as a family.
Right.
What would do that? Since we are implementing that at the Belief Center, Marcel, especially to help with the youngest children, outcomes
Right.
to come. That's right. Imagine if we
Right.
started doing that with our elementary kids, our preschools, our middle schools, our high schools, our college students. We're
Right.
so busy in this rat race that we never get time or take time to recenter and get focused on what is
Right.
the matter at hand. And that is
Right.
protecting our children, making sure they're safe as they return back to school. Wow. So I
Right.
use in my cognitive behavior. Exactly. That's all. It's a CBT,
I was
a
gonna
coping
say that.
skill.
I was gonna say that, but I told you I was gonna say nothing else.
Listen, why not?
Cognitions, look, cognitions controls our thoughts.
Yes.
What we think controls
Yes.
how we respond and how we
Yes.
act.
Yes.
So if we think and we believe that we're okay, we're going to
yes.
begin to act like we are okay.
Yes. Yes.
But we got to
Yes.
have those techniques, which is what you just did, the senses.
Yes. Yes.
Life, y'all, people, it is so easy to be okay. We put too much
It
pressure
is.
on ourselves Stop
Yes.
putting extra pressure on yourself and give yourself the opportunity, as Marty just said, to say, I'm not feeling it today. And guess what,
Yes.
y'all? It is
It's
okay
okay.
not
It
to
is.
be okay. As Marty says all the time, and I use it on Sunday, by the way, you
Uh-oh.
got to speak up, you got to speak out, and you got to say, I'm not feeling it today.
That's right.
And show
That's right.
yourself some grace. That's all.
Yes. Too many of us
See,
are
Marty?
continuing to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow
Here
of
we go.
shame.
Here we go.
Come
Here we
on, there
go.
we
Here
go.
we go.
Sis,
There you
we
go,
can do
y'all.
that in our homes as we sit around. You're absolutely right, Auntie. We can use this in our
Right.
homes as we're sitting around. We have to be
Right.
very intentional about the methods and methodologies we're doing in healing. Healing, I'm going to use Portia's. Waking up is automatic. Showing up is intentional. Today, I will show up. So you have to show up in your family, you got to show up on your job, and you got to show up in your schoolwork and in your schoolroom. That's an intentional choice that we make. So
Right.
Thomas, how can the people get a hold of you? Thank you, man. This was so good. We're
It's
back
been an
again.
hour already. It's been an
It's
hour
been
already.
an hour already.
You
Can
got
you
me
believe
up
it?
on the East Coast at 10
Yes,
o'clock
sir.
p.m. Shout out to my East Coast family for watching us tonight.
Woo!
This is not a Thomas. This is a Marty and Thomas thing. I
That's
love
right.
this brother, y'all. I love
Yes,
this
sir.
brother. He's the
Likewise,
only
brother.
one that can call me and say, "Can you be on the show?" But he's gonna return the favor real soon. I'm gonna leave that alone. But you
don't want
can
me
reach
on
me
your
at
show. How can we reach you, Thomas?
You God, Jesus well. You can reach me on my website at www.limitlesspossibilitiesforyou.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Limitless Outcomes, and you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel at Limitless Possibilities.
Okay. Listen, we got all your stuff ready. See, it's just like old times. Listen, Thomas, thank you again for joining us. As always,
Thank
y'all,
you.
we are so excited about this. We want you to operate in wisdom. We want you to operate in strength. We want our children to be safe during this COVID time and returning back to school. So thank you again for joining us for another wonderful special edition of Mental Health Matters with Marty with Thomas. And we're going to definitely, as we go through this, that we just find the need to come back and re-educate and to remind you to bring a safe haven. So please join us next time with that. We'll keep you posted. Daryl, looks like we're adding some more shows with it. So we're going to shake some folk down for some money so we can pay you, my brother. But it's all good. We do this because we love you. Now, again, how can you follow us? Please check out our website at mentalhealthmarty.com, mentalhealthmarty.com. There you will receive some definitely your merchandise that's going to help you along the way. I have a wonderful journal in there, Stop the Stinking Thinking Journal, and we have a new t-shirt in there. We want you to help along with your t-shirts and getting your mental health journey, mental health merchandise along the way. And please check out our podcast. Yes, our podcast, Mental Health Matters with Marty, on every podcast streaming source that you love. And if you are an Apple listener, please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review and become a member of the I Matter Mental Health Matters with Marty community by texting I Matter to 855. See, I got carried away. 855-717-1272. Again, thank you for joining us today. We are so excited that you have joined us. And again, this is to supplement you in your mental health journey. We want all of our children, as you go back this week and on this upcoming weeks to come, that our children are safe. Know that you all are in our prayers, because we don't want to see that number get any higher, as it already is at 94,000 young people who are in the hospital because of this COVID and Delta variant. There's one other one that's already on the way, and that is the Lambda variant. We have to protect our young people. We have a responsibility to protect them so that our future can be brighter than our past. Again, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But as we say, we want you to speak up. We want you to speak out. We want you to live so that you can enjoy your life. See you next week, and God bless.
Enjoy your life, be free.